convention. In addition to the host club, we've had the Hill Country Astronomers, all kinds of groups, including Salsa, which we're going to hear from one of their members here in just a little bit. So let's give all the clubs who have participated in helping out make at the registration table and other places you've seen them around, a minute success.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. My name's Hagan Hensley, and I'm the Youth Award winner for this year. Just kidding. My name is Brian Tobias. I'm with the San Antonio League of Sidewalk Astronomers, and I'm very honored to announce the Horkheimer Award. You're laughing now, you're up here. I don't know, it was about 4 years ago, we were doing a fairly large star party at one of the state parks here. And we picked up a stray kid somewhere along the way, and unfortunately we haven't been able to get rid of him since. So I thought maybe this year would be the year to nominate him for an award and maybe run him off to bigger and better things. So Hagan, it's an honor to have nominated you, and thank you to the AL for selecting him. And with further ado, a member of our own family, Mr. Hagan Hensley. Kind of feel like you're in a Garth Brooks concert, huh?
Who invented the slide? So I just invented it? Okay, cool. You got it.
Okay, boy, you messed this up. You're cleaning all of our eyepieces.
Okay, then. Sorry. So hello, my name is Hagan Hensley. I am a member of SALSA, the San Antonio League of Sidewalk Astronomers. I'm 13 years old. I'm going to be a sophomore at Keystone School downtown here in San Antonio. I've been an astronomy buff my whole life. I'm honored to receive the Horkheimer Smith Award and to be able to speak to you all today. Also, I'd like to thank the Astronomical League for moving. They're all gone right here, so I can just be 10 minutes away. I live right here in San Antonio. Astronomy is a frustrating hobby. To have even one successful observing night, you have to drive tens of miles out of the city to escape light pollution, get lucky with the cloud cover, moonlight, transparency, wind, temperature, humidity, and get a delicate system of finely polished lenses and mirrors to work properly and show you the stars. And if you're ever planning on taking any pictures, you have to get a computerized motor to precisely line itself with the motion of the sky at the exact same time. Unless you happen to live on a mountaintop in Chile, the majority of nights end up being cloudy or rainy. I believe the statistic is about 60% here in San Antonio. But we still do it, night after night, sometimes successful, sometimes not. Well, why? It goes without saying it's partly for the thrill of success. When all those variables go in your favor, there's nothing better than being out there observing. But there's also another element. Everyone as a kid probably looked up at the sky, light polluted or not, and wondered, what's out there? Are there other solar systems out there? Other planets? Maybe even ones with life? Even life like us? But most people forgot about that by the time they entered high school, got caught up in everyday life, without taking the time to realize that there's an entire universe around them. Everyone here today, I am sure, held on to that dream throughout their life, eventually getting a telescope, coming to enjoy the hobby, and still doing astronomy whenever possible. You still pursue it despite all the complications, because of those big questions, and the hope that we will one day know the answers. Some of those questions we have already answered, and some of them still remain mysteries. The universe is a wonderful, beautiful, fantastical place that I feel privileged to be able to see in all of its glory. I would like to thank the wonderful members of the San Antonio League of Sidewalk Astronomers, or SALSA, all you guys out there, thanks everybody, who have helped me become a thriving amateur astronomer for the past 3 years. At the age of 10, I came upon SALSA almost entirely coincidence. One night in 2011, I just happened to be on a camping trip in a nearby state park on the exact same night that SALSA was having a public star party. I had heard there were some people with telescopes on top of a hill down the road, so my dad and I went down there to go investigate. I'd already been interested in getting my own telescope, so I saw this as an opportunity to ask the experts in telescope selection. That was where I met Nina Chevalier right there, a member of SALSA, one of the few people out on that partly cloudy night. In just a few conversations, she recommended that I not buy a go-to telescope at first, so that I could depend on my own knowledge to learn my way around the sky. 3 years later, I am so glad I took her advice. Later on, I went to one of the star parties with my new telescope I bought the next month. That was where I decided I wanted to join SALSA, and they welcomed me and have mentored me ever since. I would also like to thank 2 other amateur astronomers in SALSA who I met later on, Brian Tobias, who you saw already, and Hunter Scott. Hunter has graciously provided his location well outside of town for me to visit wherever I want. I often use it to test out new equipment under a dark sky. Brian, a few months ago, asked to interview me before a star party. He never told me why. Ended up being for submission to the Astronomical League to consider me for this award. I can't thank him enough for that interview, especially now I know where it got me. I'm also grateful to SALSA for providing the annual Messier Marathon, and after attending 3 in a row, I earned my Messier certificate this past fall. How many of you out there have been to a Messier Marathon? A lot of you, I can see. To most people, it seems crazy to stay up all night for astronomy, but for me, and I know all you out there, it's a really fun experience. I have helped also with many public star parties in the past, at the same location where I first met them, and also at other parks in San Antonio. I have learned that the majority of members of the general public have a really good time at those kinds of star parties. Whether 2 people or 200 people lined up in front of my telescope, they are all amazed at the view. Even though they know almost nothing about astronomy, they are always excited about the night sky. In the toolbox of an amateur astronomer, outreach in the long run is probably a more valuable tool than any telescope, lens, or camera. Without service and outreach, the astronomy community would be long dead by now. In a world where the majority of the population can't see the Milky Way at night, the most effective way to show people the wonder of astronomy is public service. I've engaged in a lot of service over the past 3 years, but to me it's fun and in no way a sacrifice. I've gained as much as I've given. I started an astronomy club at my school in the 7th grade, which has had a great turnout of members and been growing ever since. I go to Keystone School downtown, where science is valued, cool, and celebrated. We obtained a school telescope this May. I have hosted several star parties at my house for the Astronomy Club, including a Venus transit party in 2012, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for all of us. I think there were about 20 students there, 5 or 6 faculty or staff, which surprised me because there were a lot of people, most of whom had never heard about the Venus transit until our club brought to their attention. I was also invited recently to provide the entertainment for a 60s alumni party for my school, and I got to show all of the old alumni the sky through my telescope in the top of a building near downtown. At all of the events, the best part is whenever somebody looks through my telescope and sees the moon or the rings of Saturn or some other secret of the sky for the first time, which I think you all know too. I recently had the privilege of attending a 2-week program at the Visca Astronomical Research Institute, or PARI, a private observatory in the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina. We got to do astronomical research. Our group was trying to see exoplanet transits. I only saw one on the only clear night we had anywhere in North Carolina. We had to use a remote telescope at the Appalachian State University to obtain the images due to constant cloud cover above PARI's optical dome. However, even though the weather was disappointing, everybody loved those 2 weeks. It was a great opportunity to meet other like-minded teens from around the country, and my first taste of more professional astronomical research. And lastly, I would also like to thank my supportive parents for helping me through this whole process. My dad has always acted as the pack mule, carrying my gear around, staying up until 1 a.m. or later, then carrying it back. I know a lot of dads out there have hobbies like golfing or fishing or something, but my dad's biggest hobby has always been being my dad. My mom needs her sleep, but has always been enthusiastic about my interest and passion for the hobby. She makes cookies for my star parties and club meetings. My parents, as much as my fellow SALSA members, have been the reason I am standing here today. SALSA's motto is simple, just look up. No matter how much I get into astrophotography and professional astronomy in the future, spending my time staring at a computer screen instead of staring at the stars, I will never forget to take time to just look up at the sky through a telescope with my unaided eyes to remind myself of the wonder of the universe.
Any questions for Hagan?
What's the most exciting thing you've seen, Hagan?
The most exciting thing I've seen? Good question. I think I have to say the annular eclipse in 2012. That was pretty cool. You?
So what do you plan to do when you grow up?
I'm really not sure.
What's your favorite type of objects or groups of objects to look at?
My favorite type of object to see? I haven't decided about that. I kind of like everything.
So what are your go-to objects when you're doing sidewalk astronomy? I mean, what's the eye candy out there you're always relying on?
I can't quite hear you there. What'd you say?
When you're doing sidewalk astronomy, what objects do you really like to show the public? You know,
Oh, well, the public's favorite object tends to be planets like Saturn or Jupiter or something like the moon, and maybe some bright deep sky objects like the Orion Nebula or a couple of Gulf clusters.
All right. Okay, we're going to have one more youth mentor come up and give a few words, say a few things about what he has done. We have a Four-Camera America Journalism Award. The award winner today is G.D. Austin from Portland, Oregon, Rose City Astronomers. And I'd like to call him up here and say a few words.
Okay.
My name is Grant. I'm 12. I got into astronomy through Science Olympiad first, but then through around, I found Rose City Astronomers, the local astronomers club, and so from that I got they've introduced me to many things. Like, that was the first time that I looked through a telescope, and after that they just recently introduced me to this award. I'd like to thank them. Without them, I really could never have done any of this. I would also like to thank everyone, all the speakers, for everything. This. And also my mom, she's back there somewhere. She taught me how to write for the award. Without her, I really couldn't have done any of this. So I'd like just to say thank you to everyone.
Grant, you're a member of the Rose City Astronomers, right?
Yes.
About how many members does your club have? Do you know?
I think it's somewhere around, I know it's a couple of hundred.
Couple of hundred, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying stuff like this to remind clubs out there that if you do have a young person who is qualified, who you think is very special, please go ahead and nominate them. If someone in the Rose City Astronomers did nominate Grant, he wouldn't be up here right now, because kids are just not going to nominate themselves. And his forte there was writing. Now, from my experience, kids, I shouldn't say kids, young people who write well are going to go far in life.
Communication is the essence of everything. You can be as smart as you want, you can be a great researcher, but if you can't communicate your results, your ideas to other people, it's not going to go very far. So with people like Grant out there doing his stuff, well, he's going to go really far. Now, I understand you are taking a couple courses, college courses, at the...
Yes, I'm taking a couple of college courses to get through my first 2 years of college next year, and then I'm going to be transferring into Portland State University to finish my undergraduate. Oh, well, right now I'm going to be taking Running Start at Clark Community College, and also taking an astronomy course and a physics course at Portland Community College.
Yeah? What, 12 years old? We're going to be taking a